Goop. 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 Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. I am a registered dietitian and also a certified diet BS detector. Okay, that last part isn't actually true, but my radar has been going off lately about Goop.
I eat dinner early in the evening. I do a nice intermittent fast. I usually eat something about 12.
Since the launch of Goop in 2008, our girl Gwyneth P has been working tirelessly to always have new products coming out in her wellness line. From vitamins and supplements to aromatherapy to workout accessories, Goop Wellness has got it all. If you yourself are on a wellness journey, it might seem like Goop is the gold standard. And these products are must-haves if you are going to be a true wellness girly. But is that really the case? Will these products actually support your wellness? In this video, I'm going to break down a handful of products from the Goop Wellness line, mainly supplements, and I'm going to let you know if you should smash or pass. Before we dive in, I want to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only. While I am a dietitian, I am not your dietitian, so I cannot say for sure what supplements and products are right for you. I also want to give a disclaimer that I'm going to be reviewing some pretty wellness culture-y stuff in this video. So if that is not supportive on your journey of improving your relationship with food and your body, feel free to skip this one. All right, let's get goopy. Let's start with the Goop Wellness Metabolism Boosting Super Powder. This is a powder that you add to a smoothie or your liquid of choice. And of course, you are supposed to take this powder daily, and a 15-day supply will run you nearly $60. And you can save a little bit of dough if you sign up for the subscription where it just comes on a regular basis to your front door. The supposed metabolism boosting ingredients in this super powder include cinnamon, holy basil, and 7-keto DHEA. Let's talk about each of these specifically, starting out with cinnamon. Goop claims that the cinnamon added to the supplement helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels when used as part of your diet. Now, the use of cinnamon in the treatment of high blood sugars is quite controversial, especially in the type 2 diabetes space. There are some studies that support the benefit of cinnamon for blood sugar control. The details of this biochemical mechanism aren't quite clear, but it likely has something to do with insulin resistance as well as glucose metabolism. Because not enough is known about the mechanisms behind it, cinnamon is not recommended as a replacement for existing therapy for treating type 2 diabetes. Instead, it might be used as an adjunct to pharmaceutical type 2 diabetes treatment. Now, Goop is not marketing this supplement towards those with type 2 diabetes. In fact, the label clearly states if you have low blood sugars or diabetes, consult your healthcare provider before taking this product. That's because there is a risk of hypoglycemia or low blood sugars when taking a cinnamon supplement. And hypoglycemia is nothing to mess around with. Now, in terms of cinnamon improving or boosting your metabolism, having balanced blood sugars will be very important in order for your body to use the foods that you eat more efficiently. But if you have unbalanced blood sugars, whether that's like really high highs and or maybe some low lows, I recommend digging deeper into why this might be before just slapping a Goop supplement into your daily routine. Some possible explanations for unbalanced blood sugars could be that you do have diabetes. Maybe you are not eating consistently. You're going long periods without meals, so we kind of have that blood sugar roller coaster going on. I'd also challenge you to ask yourself if you are eating a variety of macronutrients at your meals. Are you getting a combination of proteins, carbs, and fats? When we eat a variety of macronutrients at our meals and snacks, we can really help kind of tame that blood sugar roller coaster. Also, if you are not managing stress well, or if you are not sleeping well, those could also be reasons why blood sugars are out of whack. Okay, let's next talk about the holy basil in this supplement. Goop states that holy basil is an herb that is traditionally used in Ayurveda for its balancing effects and to support a healthy response to stress. So kind of like the cinnamon thing, holy basil is not recommended as the first-line treatment for any issues, including stress. There is some evidence to support the use of holy basil for stress management. And holy basil seems to be generally safe, although there doesn't seem to be any data on the safety or efficacy of the long-term use. There is also possibly the risk of drug interactions, which is a risk you have with almost any supplement. Now, there is a connection between stress and your metabolism. When we get stressed, our body releases a hormone called cortisol. And acutely, this is a good thing because our body can kind of get into that fight or flight mode and tackle whatever stress is happening. But if we are chronically stressed all the time, this can lead to our metabolism sort of hitting the brakes. In cases like this, our body does not know why we're always stressed out. It just knows that we're always stressed out, and it needs to conserve bodily functions, including using food for fuel. So it starts to get way more efficient and burn calories a lot slower. So to tie this all together, will holy basil cure this issue? Probably not. If you are chronically stressed, I recommend getting to the root of this and finding ways to manage it beyond just taking a supplement. And now for the final active ingredient, the 7-keto-DHEA. Goop states the 7-keto-DHEA is an ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and support healthy body weight when combined with a balanced diet and exercise. I mean, that's really all we need to read right there. When combined with a balanced diet and exercise, a supplement, of course, is not going to replace these things. And in a lot of cases, if you are doing that, you're eating a balanced diet and you are getting joyful movement in, your metabolic health could be pretty well off. But we'll give this claim a fighting chance and dig a little deeper. So 7-keto-DHEA is produced naturally in your body from DHEA. And DHEA is an adrenal steroid hormone that serves as a precursor for sex hormones such as estrogen and testosterone. DHEA is one of the most abundant circulating steroids in the human body. But unlike pure DHEA, 7-keto-DHEA doesn't undergo the conversion to those androgens or estrogens. And Goop is not the only one selling 7-keto-DHEA. 7-keto-DHEA is sold as a dietary supplement advertised to support weight loss due to its thermogenic properties, which is where it makes the claim of boosting your metabolism. But there are very few studies that support this claim. There is this study here in which the subjects given the 7-keto-DHEA did lose more weight than those receiving the placebo, but there was no difference in the basal metabolic rate or BMR. This study also only lasted for 8 weeks, so we don't really know long-term how this DHEA is going to affect people. In another study, 7-keto-DHEA was shown to increase the RMR of the subjects, the resting metabolic rate, but this study only lasted for 7 days. I also want to note that 7-keto-DHEA has been banned by the World Anti-Doping Association because these supplements have been suggested to trigger positive tests for performance-enhancing drugs. So if you're involved in sport and subject to getting performance-enhancing drug testing done, you should probably avoid taking 7-keto-DHEA supplements, including this one from Goop. All in all, this supplement is a no from me. Boosting your metabolism is never going to be the job of a supplement. You want to know the best way to boost your metabolism? You gotta eat. You gotta eat enough, you gotta eat consistently, and you gotta do this every day. Our metabolism is literally just the way that our body uses calories to create energy. And if we're not giving our body enough calories to make enough energy, it's gonna slow down, work way more efficiently, and that is going to be when you experience a broken metabolism that needs boosted. Okay, moving on to the next wellness product, the Rainbow Mat. This is the Healthy Light Rainbow Mat, and Goop states that it is filled with 7 types of natural gemstones. Goop says you can hang out on top of the mat, and you'll also have the option to bask in pulsed electromagnetic fields and 7 colors of light. Oh boy. Honestly, this is all fine, and it likely is not going to be dangerous in any way. And it is true that heat really can help you to relax and ease some tension and support muscle recovery. But here's the wellness culture kicker. This mat is going to cost you nearly $2,000. Nearly $2,000! And this just illustrates how not inclusive the wellness industry is. It takes a lot of money and privilege to meet the standard of health and well-being set by wellness culture. And before you say, oh, no one's actually buying this mat, you're being dramatic. First of all, yeah, maybe I am. But also this rainbow mat just represents the countless overpriced wellness products that are out there. I mean, the Goop website has hundreds of other examples of just insanely priced products. Almost everything on the Goop website is inaccessible unless you are really well off. And even aside from Goop, if you look at any supplement brand, most of those prices are not going to be affordable to the average person. Or think about diet programs like Optavia, where you have to pay nearly $400 a month for one person's food supply, which by the way is very little food and not actually even enough for that one person. And if you yourself are on a wellness journey and you are using Optavia or paying for Goop supplements, that is just for you. But what if you don't live in a single person household? All I'm saying is that if you can afford these products, that's nice for you. But the issue is when there is shame pointed at people who can't afford these products or these wellness routines. This leads to self-criticism and judgment and feeling like you aren't enough if you don't match the picture of wellness. Anyways, you can buy the Goop Healthy Line Rainbow Mat if you want to. And you can buy anything else on the website if you want to. That is your call. I just want you to know that there are ways to achieve wellness without these products. Okay, let's review another supplement, shall we? This is the Detoxifying powder. And right off the bat, anything that claims to detox you is an immediate red flag. And Goop has all types of detoxing supplements and blogs, meal plans. It's kind of their hard hitter. But again, speaking very generally here, if something markets itself as a detox meal plan, product, supplement, whatever, it's likely a load of hooey. And let me explain why. Your body has all these complex yet efficient mechanisms of detoxing for you. And yes, eating nutritious foods and engaging in regular exercise can support these processes. When we do things like sweat or when we have regular bowel movements, we are supporting the detox process. But there are not any specific foods or meal plans or diets or supplements that are going to do this detoxing for you. I also don't love how the product says this. We all make poor choices sometimes, and it shows up on our skin. This daily shot of detoxifying nutrients and botanical extracts benefits both the skin and body. First of all, this just aids in the binary thinking about wellness choices. It's like you are either doing good or you are doing bad. But health and wellness are not that simple. Not to mention that health and wellness are not a moral obligation. This product description also implies that if you do make poor choices, you are going to automatically wreak havoc on your detox systems. And evidently, if you pay for this $60 supplement, you are going to just be covering all your bases. But like I said, your body is super good at detoxing on its own. And if it's not detoxing on its own, you should go see a doctor, not take a Goop wellness supplement. And on a similar note, to wrap us up, let's talk about the Detox 7-day reset. This might be the worst one out of this whole video. First of all, any diet or meal plan or whatever that has like a set number of days that you should be following it should automatically be questioned. What do you do after those 7 days? I also think that we should read the entire product description for this one, because it's all bad. Removing potential dietary triggers and processed foods from your diet can be a lot of work. The Detox 7-day reset kit gives you the tools to do a week-long elimination program with ease. Our plan provides a filling superfood cereal blend, a plant-based protein powder, and a recipe guide to take the guesswork out of the process. An easy-to-follow schedule helps you to experiment with new eating patterns and an intermittent fasting protocol. And you'll get added support from the daily super powders formulated to help promote the body's natural detoxification system and promote digestive health. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Okay, let's go line by line here, shall we? I mean, starting with the first few words, removing potential dietary triggers should not be done with the support of Goop. If you think that you have a food intolerance or a food allergy, a registered dietitian or a doctor would be a much better resource for this. I also have a feeling that many people who do this reset don't actually have any food intolerances. But Gwyneth Paltrow classically talks about removing gluten, dairy, refined sugar, and nightshades from the diet without having any evidence to support these claims.
Let's play the game. Would this ordinary thing kill Gwyneth Paltrow? These grocery store sugar cookies? Oh no, she's not surviving that. Any McCormick seasonings, taco seasonings, anything, kill her instantly. Krispy Kreme? Oh yeah, she's dying. She doesn't even have to eat one. She just has to be a restraining orders distance from when they're making them, and she's hitting the floor.
So not only is this advice to just cut out all these random foods not evidence-based, but it's also not individualized at all. You don't need to cut these foods out, and you're not going to be detoxing anything by cutting these foods out unless you do actually have an intolerance to any of these things. Now, this is the real kicker. The description next talks about removing processed foods. Let that sink in for a minute. Does Gwyneth not realize that the foods, if we want to call them that, or the supplements in this reset plan, routine, diet thing are highly processed? Last time I checked, you cannot grow cereal blend from the ground, and I'm pretty sure protein powder doesn't grow on trees. All jokes aside though, processed foods are not inherently unhealthy. In many cases, processed foods just help people feed themselves. And fed is best whether you are a child or a grown adult. I don't know a single person in real life who can actually grow and hunt all their food and make everything from scratch. I myself eat processed foods every day, and you probably do too, and that's okay. The next line talks about this being an elimination diet, and elimination diets do have their place, but once again, they are best conducted with the support of a registered dietitian. They are also meant to have like a game plan after the elimination phase is over. The whole goal is to strategically add foods back in that you actually can tolerate. But it seems like with this reset plan that Gwenny P has going on here, you're cutting these foods out and then never actually getting them back into your life. The next part says that our plan provides a filling superfood cereal blend, a plant-based protein powder, and a recipe guide to take the guesswork out of the process. An easy to follow schedule helps you experiment with new eating patterns in an intermittent fasting protocol. Listen, I totally get the appeal of having someone tell you exactly what to eat so you don't have to think about it. But this does not teach you anything. And unless you're gonna follow this program or take these supplements forever, this is going to be such an unhelpful approach. Even if you did find with this program that you were intolerant to something, which again is unlikely, and you probably would have already had a hunch that you were intolerant before Goop told you that you were, doing this elimination diet is not going to walk you through the steps of how to grocery shop for yourself now that you have this intolerance, or how to cook for yourself or feed yourself and your family now that you have this intolerance. There are absolutely no tools here besides just cut out this, cut out that. And that proves to be very unsustainable for most people most of the time. I'm not going to go too much into the intermittent fasting piece of this because that would require an entire video, but basically just know that my take on intermittent fasting is that it's basically just starving yourself and ignoring your hunger cues, and you actually fast for plenty of time when you're asleep. Okay, moving on to the last line, which talks about detox powders and supplements. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. These are pointless. We've already talked about detoxing. These supplements are of course not regulated. And honestly, your gut health is going to be way better off if you are not following a restrictive diet and you're actually eating enough and eating a variety of foods. So, if you haven't picked up on my ever so subtle hints throughout this video, I don't recommend any of the supplements from the Goop wellness line. This is all just wellness culture 101, which is almost always just a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wellness culture, including Goop, which is classic wellness culture, is always just hiding under the guise of, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. We are all about your health and your well-being. I call bull. And that is all for today's review. There is, of course, so much more I could go into when it comes to Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. She is the wellness culture queen, and there is so much to unpack there. And be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, if you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe so you always know when I'm posting a new diet review. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.